Push too hard. Are you in a club that needs a new website? Or does your club's website need to be completely redone and kept up to date? I created my first website in 1998. I developed and maintained several sites until about 2008. At that point, life got in the way. I got back into web development in early 2020. Since then, I have worked very hard at relearning HTML, CSS, and PHP. These are the tools I need to know to create your one-of-a-kind website. Please visit davescorneroftheworld.com. Okay, got the motorcycle up here, and I can just kind of sit there just like that. It's wedged in, and the tire's on the angle iron. All right, so next thing to do is get a ratchet strap. Store your ratchet straps in an old sock. That keeps from getting in a mess. Works really well. Boss of the Swamp showed me that, so I'm not taking the credit for it. Take the seat off. Now what we're doing, we're tying down the back of the motorcycle so I can lift the front. You know what, I think I'm going to tie it right there. I think I'm going to go around that. That's my trailer hitch. Yeah, so that's nice and solid. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Whoops, push too hard. Got lucky there, folks. Alright, that'll be good enough for what we're doing. I hope. Because what we're doing, we're taking off the front wheel. Got to get a new tire. Tire's wore out. Alright. Now, Got a scissor jack. I'll set right there. Set the scissor jack in there. Put a 2x4 on top of it that just goes across the frame. Maybe. There we go. All right. Now we're just gonna crank up the scissor jack. And just like that, the front end of the motorcycle is off the ground. Put a real big Phillips screwdriver through here to hold it, because it's going to spin the axle if I don't hold it. Well, I got an Allen wrench I got to take loose here. Yeah, just that one, I guess. All right. So, all right. That's coming off pretty good. I'll leave it loose there for a minute. Oh yeah. All right, now gotta loosen that. Okay, that's loose. Finish taking this nut off here. Put it right there. Now I should be able to use my Phillips screwdriver, yeah, and just pull this axle right out. There's going to be a spacer on this side. And 2 spacers on this side that fell out already. So we'll put them back there. Now, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, this is not working, boys and girls. Okay, I'm going to do 2 things to try to fix this problem. What happened is the motorcycle wants to roll that way. So I need to tie that there. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. How are we doing on our leveling jacks? Well, they're working just fine now. Right, here's the controls. But I have to turn the ignition switch on. Not on auxiliary, but it's got to be turned on. You see this red light blinking here? That indicates the jack is already on the ground, or at least one or more is close to the ground. So let's hit this retract. Retract all. Now, okay, that red light went out. That means that all the jacks are okay. So all I have to do is turn this in the middle position. This is a three-way switch. Retract all, off, and on. Okay, now, if I was wanting to put the jack down, this is the middle jack, this is the left jack, and this is the right jack. Okay, so let's say we want to raise up the middle jack. The motorhome is nose heavy. It's nose down. Now we turn this on. We push here in the middle. This is left, middle, right. We push on the middle one. Yep. You see, did you feel it start to go up a little bit? Now the red light's blinking. The system is turned on, so we can turn the system off. But as long as the ignition switch is on, this red light is going to continue blinking. Now, let's go ahead and retract those. I'm totally satisfied that they work just fine. I'm really happy with that. First time they've been working in a long time. It ended up that there's okay, now the red light's out, so we can turn that over in the middle. That turns this off. There's no red light because the jack is already raised up all the way. But it turns out that there's a relay down in here somewhere that something was wrong with it. That's why the jacks didn't work for 5 or 6 years. Okay. Turn the ignition switch off. Motorhome is ready to go as far as the leveling jacks goes. So we're going to talk about the house batteries, because my generator starts on the house batteries, and that happens to be this cable right here. So it goes clear up to the front of the motorhome, way up there. And the problem was, for some reason, it comes into right here. Now how it gets there I really don't know, but one of these wires go back there to it. It comes into right here. And from here it goes down to the generator starter, which is down there somewhere. Well, the generator wouldn't start. It just acted like there was no power going to it. What ended up happening was there was 2 things wrong. One, there was a connection, a wire connection inside this housing that was disconnected. Got disconnected somehow, I don't know how. Anyway, they had to take this generator, the whole generator, clear out of the motorhome and take this cover off. And there was a forklift right out here, and the whole generator was out here on a forklift. And the guy took it apart and put those wires back together and pushed it back in there and bolted it in, and it still didn't work. Well, that needed to be done, that's for sure. But what ended up was the problem with there no power up there. It ended up that this is a circuit breaker. It's a resettable circuit breaker. It's a 120 amp circuit breaker. And for some reason, this got tripped. We can take off this little cover here and move the trip back and forth, just like you would in your house in your circuit breaker box. And that's all that was wrong with it. But there was two different things wrong. There was this plus the plug in the generator. So that's great. It works now. I have a camera that sits right up here pointing that way when I'm going down the road, and I've got another camera right there while I'm going down the road. That way if something happens, one camera doesn't get it, the other one most likely will. So this steel pipe is in here. Right here, right there, is a gen start. You push it on top, and you see that little light? Okay. Not exactly sure what that is, but anyway, it's always happened ever since I've had the motorhome for the last 16 years. This is a diesel generator, so what I'm thinking is that when that little light is blinking, that it's given the glow plugs, because it's diesel, power to warm up the cylinders, and after it does that for a few seconds, then it goes ahead and starts the generator, which it just did. You can hear it running, I'm sure. It didn't do that before. It does that now. That was the two major things. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off because I don't need it running. Now, it'll do it again. We'll watch that little light down there. It'll go blink, blink, blink. And it starts the engine. So, that part is fixed as well. Those are the two major things that was wrong with the generator, with the motorhome, that got fixed. And if I want to, anytime I want to, I can come out here and start the generator from here. Okay, that started just fine. I got an hour meter here. So, like I say, I don't need it running, so I'm going to turn it off. And that's it. Motorhome is good to go. Well, the Harley, I was expecting to completely go through the entire engine from here up and have it rebuilt, because it was leaking right here really bad. You saw a picture of it in the previous video. I'll show it side by side here. Well, I cleaned this up probably 500 miles ago, and it is not leaking, and I don't understand that. I have been around machinery all my life, and I have never seen anything that was leaking that stopped leaking. And as you can see, it was leaking right here, right there at that seam right there. And if it's leaking at all, it's just barely enough to, it's been like that for 500 miles. I put 5 tankfuls of fuel in it since I cleaned it up, and it's not leaking now. So if it's not leaking, I'm not going to go ahead and spend the $2,000 or whatever it's going to cost to do the top of the engine and the heads and pistons, rings, possible cylinders, you know, the whole works. So that was an easy fix. I did put on front brakes, front wheel the other day. That's about all I'm going to do for the motorcycle right now. So all of my things I had to do, had to get the motorhome working, I had to get the jacks working, had to get the generator working.
I expected that to cost less than $500. In fact, I spent over $750 on it. Well, that's okay. That's a little bit more than I wanted, but that's okay. That's doable. But then again, I was expecting to spend $2,000 on the motorcycle, and I ended up spending about $300. So I'm still in the green. I'm good to go. Please subscribe, hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video.